Hey, 4th grade saxophones. Hope you guys are having a good week and that you're doing well. I miss you. So today's lesson is going to start out with our G. We're going to start with our low G, okay? And we're going to learn something called a 3-note scale. Scales are so important for all musicians, all right? It doesn't matter what instrument you play, piano, violin, a band instrument. Scales are so key to learning that instrument and becoming really good at it. So the way we start is with like just a 3-note scale, and that's what we're going to do right now. Scale just means it's like a pattern of notes. It normally steps up and then it steps back down. All right, that's how a scale goes. So our 3-note scale is going to start on our G, and then we're going to go to A, then to B. So there's 3 notes, and then we're going to go back down, A and G, and that's it. The B, we're only going to play one time, all right? For a scale, almost always when you go up, the top note, you only play once, and then you go right back down. All right, so, but we're going to hold these notes out with whole notes. So I have a whole note right here. Whole note looks like this, and how many beats does it get? 4. So we're going to play whole notes all the way to the B, and then back down to the G. All right, our 3-note scale, remember our thumb is just right on the black. Don't let it come up and hit this right here. This is our octave key. Don't let it hit that. Stay right on the black. Also, guys, make sure we're not hitting any keys down here. It's easy to get some wrong notes out if you start accidentally hitting these keys. And a lot of times you don't even realize you're doing it. All right, so check your hand right now. Make sure we're not hitting those keys with our left hand. And our right hand, let's make sure none of us are hitting any of these keys down here. These are really easy to accidentally be hitting, and you won't even realize it, okay? So lots of kids, when they're beginning, hit lots of other keys accidentally. Check even with your body. Make sure that it's not hitting anything. If you're wearing like a jacket or something, make sure that's not getting in the way of your keys. Because saxophone, remember, has tons of keys, all right? And if one key is a little bit off, then the note you're trying to play is going to be wrong. All right, so here we go. Sitting up nice and tall, adjust your neck strap. Make sure that your mouthpiece goes right to your bottom lip. All the way to the saxophone is on your neck strap, right? You should be able to let go, making sure that it's actually on there correctly. We don't want to find out that our neck strap is not connected correctly as soon as you let go. All right, so it's resting on that neck. Good, we bring our mouthpiece right to our bottom lip. Awesome. Cool, here we go. With whole notes starting on our G all the way to the B and then back to the G. 2, count in your head, and that's it. So just G, A, B, A, G. Let's do it one more time now that you know what you're doing. 2, ready, and awesome. Hopefully that sounded like mine did. All right, now we are going to do one more warm-up. We're going to do the same 3-note scale, except for instead of whole notes, we're going to switch to 4 quarter notes that look like this. A quarter note gets how many beats? 1. Awesome. So we're going to really make sure we are tonguing. So we're going to have our tongue touch that reed, right? We've been practicing this. Ta. This is what it looks like inside my mouth. Our tongue does not stick outside of our mouth, all right? So if you are sticking your tongue out, like out of your mouth past your lips, then you're doing something wrong. We don't want it to be outside of your mouth. Okay, so it's like ta, 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 ta. It's like my tongue is touching that reed inside my mouth, all right? Because it's like inside my teeth. All right, here we go. Same thing, G 4 times, A 4 times, B 4 times, back to A, G. Tonguing each note, do your best. Here we go. 2, G, go. Good. Make sure you're counting in your head as you play it. So we have 4 of each note. All right. Awesome. I want that to be your warm-up for this week. All right. 3-note scale, whole notes first, and then 4 quarter notes like we just now did. Okay. Now, for our review song that we're going to start with today, it's on page 7. We're going to do that bottom song, number 1.15, Here We Go. All right, hopefully you drew in your bar lines for this one. And don't forget, there's something at the end of the song that we are going to play. Be ready for that. All right, hopefully you guys have been practicing this one a bunch because we were working on this one last week. So we're just going to right now play straight through it. All right, play straight through it and do our very best. Here we go, from the beginning, sitting up tall. 1, 2, beginning, and... Awesome. Cool. Hopefully, guys, that was a good review song and that you were able to stay with me. If at all it was a little challenging and you feel like you're not quite ready to go on from that song, that's okay. Go back to last week's video, work on that stuff. If you just played it and you were able to pretty much stay with me, awesome. If you think you just want to practice it a little bit more, pause the video, practice that song, rewind it, play that with me again. All right, but if you felt like, yeah, I'm ready to keep going, then I want you to turn the page. Page 8, number 1.16, we're going to start with today. We're going to do those top 3 songs. 1.16, A Clair de la Lune. 1.17, Mary Had a Little Lamb. And 1.18, Mary Had a Cool Lamb. So we're going to play those songs right now. All right, so it's still with the 3 notes that we've been practicing. All right, just B, A, and G. There's a lot of songs you can play with those 3 notes. So A Clair de la Lune at the very top of the page. So this song has a ton of these. These are called quarter notes, and they get how many beats? 1. It also has some of these. What are these called? Half notes, and they get 2 beats. And at the very end of the song, you have one of these. This is a whole note, and it gets 4 beats. Yes, okay, awesome. And at the very end of the song, it has a what sign? Repeat sign. Good, so be ready for that. So, guys, first thing, let's airband it from the beginning. Say these notes with me. I'll just say the first 2 measures. You say the rest of it, either out loud or in your head. Here we go. Let's practice our fingers as we say the notes. Ready? And G, 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 A, B, A. Now you say it. One, 2, 3, 4. Good, and then has a repeat, but we're not going to airband the repeat. So guys, I want you to look for the 3rd measure. Count from the beginning. 1, 2. The second measure has 2 half notes. And then 3. There's only 4 measures in this whole song. The 4th measure has that whole note at the end. So find the 3rd measure. 1, 2, 3. It goes G, A, G, B, A, A, right? That's the measure I'm talking about. Can you airband that with me? Say it with me. G, B, A, A. That's like the trickiest measure in this whole song. So it's really important for us to focus on those measures that are tricky. All right, if we airband them and then we practice them all by themselves, then we're going to get good at those measures. And then it's going to make this whole song sound way better, all right? And it's going to make it easier to learn because you've already focused on the hardest part of the song. All right, so one more time, airband it. G, B, A, A. Now we're going to play just that measure. Just that measure. And then stop. Here we go. Together, starting on the G. Ready? Go. And stop. Do that one more time. Here we go. Ready? And. Good, and we should be tonguing those notes. All right, your tongue is touching that mouthpiece. Or sorry, that reed. Ta, 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 ta. Good. Because the difference between tonguing and not tonguing, if you don't tongue, it sounds like this. Ha, ha, ha. It's like the air first before the sound. We don't want to hear the air first. We want to hear a nice, clean, crisp sound and start to the sound right away. And that's why tonguing is so important for all band instruments. Ta, 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 right? So keep working on that. All right, now that we've practiced the hardest measure first, let's go back and let's play the whole song. All right, here we go. Remember, it has a repeat at the end that we're going to take. Beginning on the G. 2, ready, go. And if you have to breathe more often than I do, that's okay. All right, breathe when you need to breathe. The best time to breathe is between measures. All right, but breathe when you need to breathe. All right, good job on that one, guys. Keep practicing that song. Let's go to the next one, Mary Had a Little Lamb. All right, so Mary Had a Little Lamb. This is an awesome one because you know it and you've played it. You've already played it on saxophone. You just haven't seen the actual music written out for saxophone yet. And so this is finally where you get to see the music. So that's exciting. All right, so 1.17, Mary Had a Little Lamb. Look at that first measure. You're using all 3 notes, and it's almost like a scale, right? That's going backwards. A backwards scale starting on your B, right? The cool thing is scales are in all of our music. They're everywhere. It's the foundation for how all of our music is written. And if we learn the scales, then the music itself is going to get so much easier. All right, 1.17, let's airband it. I'll say the first 2 measures with you, and then you say the rest by yourself. Here we go. Ready on the B? And B, A, G, A, B, B, B. Rest. You say it. Rest. 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 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's give it a try. From the beginning. If you need to pause the video and just airband and practice like one measure, like the first measure, because that's kind of tricky, then do that. Pause the video, airband the first measure, play the first measure, and then you're ready for the whole song. Here we go, from the beginning. 1, 2, ready, go. Rest. Tongue each note. Rest. Rest. Awesome. Hopefully you guys played that with me. Work on it this week, though, so that at some point, though, by the end of the week, you can play that song with me on the video. And if you play it at home and you're like, yeah, I can do that. That was easy. Then try playing it faster without me, right? So pause the video, play that faster. The important thing is just to keep it consistent or play it slower, all right? Don't rush it, though. The important thing is, like, when you're practicing at home, don't play songs like this ever. Right, so what did I do? I started out playing it, and then I got faster, and then I slowed way down. Don't change the speed. We have to keep things the same speed. That's so important in music. You have to be really steady. So when you practice at home, make sure, like, you can tap your foot. Do you hear I tap my foot when I play. And it helps me to keep my beat really steady. It helps me so that I don't rush through something and then slow it down and then rush it again, right? So be really conscious and careful of if you're rushing through things or slowing them down, okay? It's really important in music. Okay, so next one, Mary Had a Little Lamb. This is our last one that we're going to play today. So it's just, Mary Had a Cool Lamb. It's just like Mary Had a Little Lamb, except they change where the rests are because they're trying to make it like jazzy. And for saxophone, we love jazz, right? Like jazz is part of, what the saxophone does. So let's try Mary Had a Cool Lamb. I want you to pause the video, air band it first, practice your fingering, say the notes, and then we're going to play it. And when you're ready to play it with us. Here we go. From the beginning, Mary Had a Cool Lamb, all the way through. 1, 2, beginning, and... Awesome job, guys. Cool. So at home, if you practice that song a bunch, like at that speed we just played it, and you're like, yeah, I can do a little faster, then try playing it a little faster at home, but play the whole thing faster, right? Don't just play part of it faster or one measure faster. Play all of it faster because that's a fun song to play faster. But you have to practice it first at a slower speed so that you can learn those notes and you know what your fingers have to do. You're training your fingers right now, all right, to learn how to play the saxophone. All right, guys, I made one new quick survey. I'm going to start having it available every week at the bottom, underneath where the title of this video is. Underneath that, there's a link to the survey. That's just a quick one for you to fill out each week, telling me how you've been practicing that week. All right, I know that you guys are working really hard at home, and I want to know who is, who's working hard at home and who's watching these videos and what you're doing. All right, because you guys are doing some really great stuff, and I want to know that. All right, so I miss you. I hope that you guys are doing well. Do that survey some point this week. All right, you only have to do it once each week. And yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. I'll see you next time. Bye.